Hello, my name is Steve Bigelow with the Candlestick Forum. We've had a second bullish candlestick pattern that is adding confirmation that the bottom of this market has been hit, and we're now starting back up in an uptrend. Today, the markets form the J-hook pattern. The J-hook pattern is one of the strong candlestick reversal signals or price patterns that show you with a high degree of probability that there's going to be more upside. Remember last week, we saw the MorningStar signal, or 2 weeks ago, we saw the MorningStar signal form in the Dow. The fact that they gapped it up to the T-line showed you this was going to be a very strong MorningStar signal. Then they followed it with a Doji sandwich, a bullish candle, a Doji, followed by a bullish candle with the Doji squeezed in between or sandwiched in between. We call this a McMuffin, a morning sandwich. Now note the nature of the market. It was still continuing to do the same thing it had done for the past month and a half. Big up day, big down day, big up day, big down day, up day, down day. So even after our McMuffin, which is a very strong reversal signal, we still had that characteristic. Down day, up day, down day. When they gapped it down below the T-line, notice it didn't move very far away from the T-line, but the probabilities were still indicating that as long as they traded below the T-line, the downtrend was in progress until you saw a strong candlestick signal and a close back up above the T-line. That gap up through the T-line started our next pattern, the J-hook pattern. An up day, a strong price move, consolidation, and then there's your J-hook pattern with the implication that wave 3 is going to be the same magnitude as wave 1, implying they're now heading for the 50-day moving average, they being the market. So if you take this all into consideration, you have a McMuffin. That's a very strong reversal signal or a pattern. And then you have a J-hook pattern, which is a very strong bullish pattern. You combine the two, it's pretty much telling us that investor sentiment is starting to turn back up. When you apply candlestick signals to the patterns, as in the Nasdaq today, this is a kicker signal. Notice on Friday it opened here, closed here. Today they gapped it up above the previous day's open and went positive. The fact that they gapped it up above that open and went the opposite direction has kicked the investor sentiment in the opposite direction. Same scenario, strong McMuffin signal followed by a J-hook pattern, and this implies there's going to be more upside. You add individual stocks like Apple that everybody's watching. Today, it did a best friend signal, which is a Doji, followed by a gap up, also creating the J-hook pattern. When everybody's watching the biggies or buying the biggies, like Apple, that means bullish sentiment has come back into the markets. So a very simple analysis, as we can see in microchip. Best friend signal, Doji gap up. Wave 1 implies that wave 3 could bring you all the way back up into this area. This makes it very easy for the candlestick investor to set up very strategic option strategies, whether it's buying calls outright or doing spreads up to those levels. Amazon provided the same analysis. Look at your Doji gap up best friend. This signal was one of the strongest reversal signals in the candlestick universe. And the fact that they did a slow curve J-hook type pattern up through the 50 also implies, since this level is not going to be acting as resistance, illustrated by a very strong signal going through it, that the implication is there's going to be more upside. So identifying the strongest signals and patterns allows the candlestick investor to implement the signal itself, a kicker signal, which implies more upside, into a J-hook pattern, which implies more upside, does two facets for investing. One, not only is it telling you you're going to be in an uptrend, but two, it's going to tell you the magnitude of your uptrend and usually the speed of that uptrend. So candlestick analysis using the candlestick signals and patterns allow investors to be in very strong price moves when the market is moving up instead of just a steady uptrend. So the second bullish candlestick pattern is producing dozens and dozens of very strong chart patterns today, which allows the candlestick investor to cultivate those good patterns down to the best patterns of all, so that you're constantly putting your funds in positions that have the highest probabilities of producing big profits. That'll be it. We'll see you in the chat rooms.